I like covering my hair, I like keeping Shabbat, I like having a lot of kids. I love being Jewish. I love living a traditional Jewish life. When I was in college, I had a dream that I was going to be the U.S. ambassador to the UN, the United Nations. The U.S. ambassador to the UN actually was an alum of Bowdoin College in Maine, and he came and spoke with us. And it's like, wow, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be like impacting the world, making the world better on an international level. Did you see that Yoni made it? They gave its own picture? I grew up kind of like in a liberal American upper middle class family, and I kind of that was just the universe. Like everyone, I never thought of anyone in my family ever being anything but that. Nobody when I was growing up ever spoke about anyone ever having been religious in my family. My grandmother was very Zionistic, but Israel didn't interest me. You know, it seemed to me like being Jewish when I was growing up. I remember that on Saturdays we would go out, like the whole family together, to a restaurant. I don't think that there was anti-Semitism, but there was this thing about like the worst thing you could possibly be was a Jap. And also then I guess like the Jewish state then is also slightly embarrassing. Like why? It's not interesting. It's not, in America there's like their very Jewish state would be, let's say, New Jersey. I'm not interested in New Jersey, which is a Jewish state. I'm not interested in Israel, that's a Jewish state. In my junior year of college, I ended up going to spend a semester in Indonesia. I was studying the student movement in Indonesia, and I ended up meeting like these very devout Muslim women. When I saw them, I thought, wow, like these poor, oppressed Muslim women, like I'm going to come and I'm going to I had like an activist approach towards them. Like I'm a liberated, Western woman, and I'm going to show them the light, and I'm going to show them like what it's like to be like an educated, liberal, empowered woman. Almost every day, people would ask me where I'm from, and I would say America, and they say, you're from America? Don't you see how Israel's destroying? Israel's such a terrible place. I'd never seen anything like it. For them, it's like Israel's like a cancer on humanity. They made this instant connection between being American and being in Israel, even though I didn't even say I was Jewish. They were obsessed with Israel, and in a way it made me curious about it. These women were so strong. They had like this incredible strength about them, and they're very smart. Like, they have this like ancient tradition that gives them a lot of strength. My best friend there, she named Pippin, and I saw her like praying. And she would pray 5 times a day. She would get all dressed in white, and she would wash herself off. And I just thought it was so beautiful. Like kind of like she looked so ethereal. It just looked so beautiful. Pippin asked me, she said, Jenny, why don't I ever see you pray? She said, don't Jews pray? And I said, oh, no. Jews were only allowed to pray once a week. And then only on Saturday mornings, but only if there is a synagogue. And there's no synagogue here, so I'm not allowed to pray. I had no idea. That's what I thought. So then she said, really? She said, but then how do you not miss God? I was like, thinking of this has been 30 years. It still like makes me crazy. Like that, like, don't you miss God? Like a month and a half later, I was in Israel. I remember walking and seeing the Judean desert, just being blown away, just being like, whoa, like this is not New Jersey. Like this is wild, this place. Like this place looks like the Bible. So I ended up going in the old city. There's a place called the Jewish Student Information Center. When I saw that, I thought, wait, I'm a Jewish student and I need information. At that moment, it was like that was what I wanted more than anything in my life, was to learn about Judaism. It's like I had been waiting for my whole life for this to happen, for like somebody to take me and say, learn about your tradition. So I called my mom and I told her what I was up to. I was studying Judaism and I was really enjoying it. And my mother said, Jenny, I have to tell you, I always knew that you would become a rabbi. I think my mom said either a rabbi or a doctor. I don't remember if she said a doctor, but rabbi she definitely did say. My grandmother, right before she passed away, said, well, you know, I heard that you are becoming kosher, and I want you to know that your great-grandparents were Lubavitcher Hasidim. Graduation from Bowdoin, I told my parents that I wasn't going to participate because it was on Shabbat. My mom said, come on, Jenny, you're going to go up and take the diploma. You don't have to eat the lobster, but you will go up and take your diploma. But my parents, God bless them, my parents flew up all the way to Maine to sit beside me at my college graduation in the audience as my name was read in absentia, which means like I'm not there. I was living in New York. I was living in an Orthodox community. I started really having some doubts. And I thought to myself, I'm having serious issues with Orthodoxy, but the Torah is really, really cool. This is a really ancient book that Jews have been studying for thousands of years. There's so much depth there. So what I thought to myself is, I'm going to give Judaism one last chance. And it came to Pardes, and I just fell in love. I was just blown. I was just on fire with like learning Torah. Like they gave me my own key, and I would stay until like 11 o'clock at night. I would like sit in the Beit Midrash by myself and close up on my own because I was just on fire with it. I came in September. In October of that year, I met my husband at a Shabbat meal. When I first became a mother, I had a really hard time. I was educated in school and then college to career. And then you also had a family. And then all of a sudden, you know, my daughter was born and I didn't want to go to work. And I was just like, there was just kids, like how home was like the center. And I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to lift myself up out of this feeling bad about myself. This rabbi saw the Shoah. He was like in a Soviet gulag. So when I sit there, I imagine that he sees me, that he's thinking, look at this Jewish family. They're not such great holy people. They're not like the most holy, observant, spiritual, amazing people. They live a traditional life. This is like the bright light in the universe. So today, still, like when I'm living my life in like an Orthodox community, I feel part, like I'm really doing it, but there's still part of me that's like an anthropologist watching it all. Went through like a long process of lifting myself up and kind of getting inspired and really psyched about being a Jewish mom, and specifically an Orthodox Jewish mom. That I feel like I want to help other moms to be inspired also. Because even mothers who are doing okay, we all need some inspiration. Pippin, like you were so right. There are times when I miss God. You inspired me to look in my own tradition and to see, like I have this millennia old religion, like tradition that's mine. And I found so much depth and strength in this tradition. And I owe you so much. I owe you for like showing me, I owe you for showing me that like a religious person isn't just like closed-minded and like ignorant. That your religion in your own way, it gives you strength and it makes beauty in your life. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could like meet up with you one time? I would love to go back to Indonesia. I'm the mother of 8 children. My oldest is 22, and my youngest is 5. Hadas Eliana, Hallel Rivka Malka, Mayan Zohar Libe, Moria Tal Esther, Yoel Elchanan, Sophia Batzion, Yaakov Gedalia Chaim, Yonatan Tzor. Got it!